Okay, this video is going to contain the syllabus and information for CS 101 Fundamentals of Computing for the fall 2019 term. Okay, my name is Luke May. I'm going to be your instructor. For all things, any questions, anything like that, you can email me at luke.may@indstate.edu. That is a primary source of communication. My office is in Root Hall, A138D. To get there, if you enter in the west doors and immediately take the very first left, there's a hallway, and my office is in that hallway. Everything in this course is going to be run through the course website, which is located on this syllabus right here at this URL. Bookmark this site, check it regularly. We'll go over the course website after the syllabus. This course we will be logging into the CS server, and there are a couple different directories you should be aware of. This is the directory from which the course website is hosted out of. Notice the username lmay1 and the username on the CS server is lmay1. Okay. This is the teaching account for CS 101. Alright, lecture sessions. There are two sections of this course that I'm teaching this term. The section 002 is an on-campus section, and it meets Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:50. Any of the online people are welcome to attend that lecture if they would like. The class section 301 is the online section, and there's no physical meeting, so everything will be run through the course website. Final exams, section 002 will be Wednesday at 8 a.m. during finals week. 301 is not an online or is not an on-campus course, so there's no physical meeting. So more than likely the final is going to be a project anyway. Okay, so in the section 002 class we will still meet and have like a lab day, but it's not going to be a final exam more than likely. Office hours, I am on campus most of the day on Wednesday. I have a class from 9 to 10, and then from 10 to noon I'm available. I'll have a lunch, and then from 1:45 to 3:45 p.m. I'm also available. If there are other times you need to get a hold of me, contact me via email or chat, and we can arrange a time. Computer resources. So in Root Hall in the basement there is a Unix lab. There are lots of computers in there, lots of CS students working in there a lot, and there are graduate assistants as well that can help you with any problems you might be having. Okay, so this is an excellent resource if you're stuck or if you're confused about something. First of all, you can always email me and ask questions or chat with me, or you can go to the Unix lab and discuss things with other students as long as it's allowable by the assignment. Right? Some assignments you're required to do completely on your own, but some assignments, if you need help, there are GAs available to help you go through some of the topics and some of the things you may be confused on. Graduate assistant tutoring. This is basically a calendar of the different GAs on duty in the Unix lab, and so you can find a GA. If you find one that you communicate well with in particular, you can see their schedules here, and these are the schedules of the different people. So whenever you're available, these will be who's on duty for the Unix lab if you need any help. So that's here on the syllabus. Required text, we are going to be learning about Python language. Okay, this book is a good book that there will be some assigned reading from, and you can look through here, and it's an ebook, and you don't have to buy it, but it has a very nice flow to it, and so we're going to be going along this flow. We're not going to get through the entire book, but the basics of this book we will be using. Okay. Some additional texts. If you don't like the way this book is laid out, or you're confused about something, you need another explanation, here are two other good resources about Python. Alright, and we'll be getting into that later in the semester. Course announcements, everything is going to come through email, the course website, or chat. Alright, Blackboard, the syllabus is up on Blackboard, and your grades will go into Blackboard, but that's about all we're going to use Blackboard for. Classroom conduct, be professional, don't use cell phones. This doesn't apply to the online courses so much, but the Mattermost chat does apply. Okay, so in these in this chat program. Make sure you're professional. Don't send any inappropriate content. We do have assignments that go out over the chat program, and you can be kicked out of the chat program if you abuse it or send inappropriate material or anything like that. So just be professional. It shouldn't be a big deal. But if we do have to remove you from the chat, you will more than likely just not receive points for any assignments that go out over Mattermost chat. All right, and depending on the severity, you could end the course with an F. So just be professional. It should not be any big deal. Basic course information. CS 101. You can read all this for yourself. Course outline, how computers work. We're going to be going over all this stuff lightly. Each one of these entries here in the course outline could probably have a course or two or three over it. Okay, so we're just going to touch on all of these topics a little bit, and it's not necessarily going to be in this order, but these are the things we're going to talk about. So how computers work, binary number systems, protocols, basic circuits, what's inside a computer, the components of a computer, Internet 101, how is data moved around the internet, computers and internet security, what are servers, Python basics, so this is the programming portion, computational problems, what types of things can computers do really well, and what things are they not very good at, and what's impossible to solve, and then touch on artificial intelligence and maybe some other interesting topics that are kind of hot right now in the industry. Okay. So expected amount of work. If you take this class seriously, it should be about 4 to 8 hours of work per week, and it depends. Some people have a proclivity for some of the math-based aspects of computer science and pick it up really quickly. Other people take a little bit more time, and that's fine. So expect 4 to 8 hours, depending. But it could be less and it could be more. All right. So one of the most important things is if you are struggling or if you're confused about something, reach out to me as soon as you do not understand something, and I will get back with you as soon as I possibly can, and we will correct anything, because if you wait too long, this material builds on top of itself. So if you do not contact me soon enough, it can be really hard to catch up. All right. So as soon as possible, if you're struggling, ask me a question and we'll work through it. Okay. Your classes should be more important than your part-time job. Grading and assignments. Okay, so for grading, we have homeworks, which are usually multiple choice questions. Then we have labs, which are usually interacting with the computer in some way. They can be programming assignments or anything like that. And then quizzes. All of these things are equally weighted, and they will be averaged and account for 40% of your total grade. All right, you will get one drop. Okay, so if you miss a quiz, if you miss a lab, or if you miss a homework, we will drop the lowest assignment. Okay, so even if you don't miss anything, we'll drop the lowest assignment. Okay, but the main point of this is if you do have to miss something, life happens, and if there's an emergency or something and you're unable to get an assignment in, your lowest assignment is going to be dropped. Okay, so don't waste this dropped assignment. Wait until you need it. Okay. The early assignments are going to be much easier than the later assignments, so I would not just waste this one drop assignment early on for no good reason. Okay, wait until you have some sort of emergency where you can't complete an assignment, or ideally you'd go ahead and complete them all, and then if you did poorly on one would be dropped. Okay, so that's 40% of your grade: homework, labs, and quizzes. Okay, exams are 30% of your total grade. There's usually 2, maybe 3. Exams are weighted equally and will be averaged to calculate the exam portion of your grade. Okay, so on the exams themselves, usually there's a multiple choice portion and a lab portion. Those will probably be 50 and 50. So 50% multiple choice and 50% of the lab portion. All right. So that will each exam will be weighted equally and account for 30% of your grade. So if there's 2 exams, that means each exam is worth 15% of your grade. Okay, attendance and participation. This is basically just free points. They're easy points. If you are an on-campus student, it's 15. Just showing up for class gives you these points. And if you are an online student, periodically there will be participation assignments that are just really simple questions that you answer that will show that you're following along with the material. They're not going to be very challenging. The point is just to make sure that you're keeping up with the material, and that's it. Okay, so these are freebie points, and they help everybody, start out in a good place grade-wise. All right. And then the final is going to be 15% of your total grade. Okay, so this is more than likely going to be a final project. It will be assigned, let's see, before or near the beginning of study week. Okay, so what that means is that'll give you an entire week at minimum to work on it. Okay, and it shouldn't take you an entire week, but it'll give you more than a week to work on it. You should have plenty of time to complete it, and it will be due by 11:59 p.m. on the Wednesday of finals week. Okay, and then that way I have a couple days to grade them. All right, course policies. This link goes to Indiana State's course policies on cheating, plagiarism, and collaboration. All right, so all of the following are considered cheating: electronic copying of any kind from another student, from the internet, and from a friend, relative, etc. All right. Now, on some assignments, I allow you to use the internet. Most assignments I do, and that's fine. And I do that because in a professional environment, you have the internet to use, and if you don't know something, you need to learn how to be able to use the internet to learn what you don't know. Okay, I think that's a very important skill to learn. However, it is important that you know this material yourself also. So the big one that I go off of here in this list is if you can't reproduce or explain the solution that was turned in, that is also considered cheating. Okay, so if you found something on the internet and you sort of understand it and turn it in, that's not good enough. If you can't explain what's happening, then that's considered cheating. All right, now if you use anything from the internet, you need to cite that in your code. You say, I looked on the internet and found this. Or if you talk to a friend or something and you've got something in your code that you don't really know how it works, you need to cite that just like anything else. And a lot of times if you cite it, you won't get those points, but at least your program does work, and we can talk about some of this stuff, and we can use it as a learning tool. Okay? But if you don't cite anything, it will be considered cheating. So it's very, very important. If you copy and paste anything from the internet, that will be considered cheating, and you can cite it in your code, so it's not cheating, but you won't get the points for that. All right. So you can read this policy. The disciplinary action for any kind of cheating discovered is for undergraduates, you will receive an F on that assignment, and a second offense could be an F for the course. Grad students, it's much more severe. The first one is a failure of the course, and you can be kicked out of the major or the school after that. All right. So this is really serious stuff. It's not worth the risk. All right. Late homeworks will not be allowed, mainly because the homeworks are used as a learning tool. So as soon as they are due, we go over them, and so everyone can learn from them. This is the main thing. So I don't accept late work. So I highly recommend you try to start on homeworks early. And again, if you begin to struggle or fall behind, let me know as soon as possible. A lot of students think they have it, and then they wait until the end of the semester, and I get barraged with questions about things that they should have learned in the first few weeks. Okay, and it's too much material to try to make up in like the last 2 weeks of the course. Okay, so it's very, very important. If you don't understand something, contact me early, and we can get through it, and we can work through it so that you're able to progress better in the remainder of the course. All right, so start on homeworks early, because that lets you know if you're actually able to understand the material in the homeworks. If you have any questions, you can ask me. If you wait until the very last day at like 10 p.m. and it's due at midnight, I'm probably not going to be up for you to contact. Okay, so start as soon as you can so you have some idea how these homeworks work, and then you can contact me if you need any help. Okay, sometimes when you're coding, it's better to spend a few hours a day on it than spend 6, 8, 10 hours on it, because you can get burnt out. Right? So if you have a programming assignment, spend 2 or 3 hours on it a day. Sometimes that's better than spending a huge chunk of time, because you can get burnt out on it. So grade cutoffs, this is pretty basic stuff. The students who get Fs are normally students that just stop trying. They stop turning in assignments, and it's hard for me to justify giving those students anything other than an F. If you turn in all your assignments and attend the classes, it's really actually quite hard to get an F. All right. So you do have to turn in the assignments more than turning in empty files. You have to attempt them, right? But it's pretty difficult to get an F. You generally just have to stop trying. All right, Blackboard, as I said, the only thing we're going to use it for is grading, and there's a syllabus up there, but that's accessible from the course website as well. Okay, so here's some more information on academic integrity. And if you have any doubts about what's considered cheating, just ask me, right? If anybody has any special needs or disabilities, please contact me as soon as possible. I can contact the appropriate people, and we can make any accommodations we need to. So let me know as soon as possible if you have anything that you need. And then this last bit is disclosures regarding sexual misconduct. I am required by law to report anything I hear about sexual misconduct to our Title IX coordinator. If you need to talk about anything, you're more than welcome to discuss it with me. I'm happy to. Just know that I am legally obligated to report anything I hear to the Title IX coordinator. Now, if you'd like to talk to someone who isn't legally required to report something, there are counseling centers here, the ISU Student Counseling Center, the ISU Victim Advocate, and some campus ministries here. There's some good information on this page if you're going through anything. Hopefully this won't happen to anybody, and there will be no need for any of this. But just know, anything I overhear, even if it's a joke or anything like that, I am required to report it to Title IX coordinator. Okay, so that should do it for the syllabus.